Hi, I'm back, and we are going to see what more is going on with James and his friends and the adventures of James and the Giant Peach by Roald Dahl. And we're going to be starting at chapter 19. And as you might remember, we left off where they decided they weren't going to starve to death or they weren't going to drown after all, and everything looked like it was going to be just fine. We even had a nice long song from who was it? Centipede, I think. Yep, except if we looked ahead and saw in a couple of pages this picture, we know that things are going to start getting interesting. So let's see what's going on. Chapter 19. Look, cried the centipede, just as they were finishing their meal. Look at that funny thin black thing gliding through the water over there. And what do you think that is? Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's a shark. They all swung around to look. There are two of them, said Miss Spider. There are lots of them, said the ladybird. What are they? Asked the earthworm, getting worried. Oh, they must be some kind of fish, said the old green grasshopper. Perhaps they have come along to say hello. They are sharks, cried the earthworm. I bet you anything you like that they are sharks, and they have come along to eat us up. Ah, what absolute rot, the centipede said, but his voice seemed suddenly to have become a little shaky, and he wasn't laughing. I am positive they are sharks, said the earthworm. I just know they are sharks. And so, in actual fact, did everybody else, but they were too frightened to admit it. There was a short silence. They all peered down anxiously at the sharks who were cruising slowly around and around the peach. Just assuming that they are sharks, the centipede said, there still can't possibly be any danger if we stay up here. But even as he spoke, one of those thin black fins suddenly changed directions and came cutting swiftly through the water right up to the side of the peach itself. The shark paused and stared up at the company with small, evil eyes. Go away, they shouted. Go away, you filthy beast. Slowly, almost lazily, the shark opened his mouth, which was big enough to have swallowed a perambulator. I think a perambulator is a baby stroller, and made a lunge at the peach. They all watched, aghast. And now, as though at a signal from the leader, all the other sharks came swimming in towards the peach, and they clustered around it and began to attack it furiously. There must have been 20 or 30 of them at least, all pushing and fighting and lashing their tails and churning the water into a froth. Panic and pandemonium broke out immediately on top of the peach. Oh, we are finished now, cried Miss Spider, wringing her feet. They will eat up the whole peach, and then there will be nothing left for us to stand on, and they'll start in on us. She's right, shouted the ladybird. We are lost forever. Oh, I don't want to be eaten, wailed the earthworm. But they will take me first of all because I am so fat and juicy, and I have no bones. Is there nothing we can do? Asked the ladybird, appealing to James. Surely you can think of a way out of this. Suddenly they were all looking at James. Think, begged Miss Spider. Think, James, think. And there they are, being worried. Come on, said the centipede. Come on, James. There must be something we can do. And their eyes waited upon him, tense, anxious, pathetically hopeful. Okay, so that was the end of chapter 19. I want you to think for a moment. If you were James on this peach with these insects and bugs, what would you do to escape these peach-eating sharks? All right, let's find out. Chapter 20. There is something I believe we might try, James Henry Trotter said slowly. I'm not saying it will work. Tell us, cried the earthworm. Tell us quick. We'll try anything you say, said the centipede, but hurry, hurry, hurry. Oh, be quiet and let the boy speak, said the ladybird. Go on, James. They all moved in a little closer to him. There was a longish pause. Go on, they cried frantically. Go on. And all the time while they were waiting, they could hear the sharks threshing about in the water below them. It was enough to make anyone frantic. Come on, James, the ladybird said, coaxing him. I'm afraid it's no good after all, James murmured, shaking his head. I'm terribly sorry. I forgot. We don't have any string. We would need hundreds and hundreds of yards of string to make this work. Okay, stop for a moment. Think of who's on this peach. If they need string, do you think they can get string? Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right. Well, what sort of string? Asked the old green grasshopper sharply. Any sort. Excuse me, pause. Miss Green is here.